What's going on, everybody? Shane here for Vulgar Display Gaming, and today I'm joined by my good buddy Michael from Hemotoxin and Rip to Shreds. How the hell you doing, brother?
Good man, good man. Just staying busy this Christmas season.
Hell yeah. We talked a little bit before. You've been busy as hell. This has been a killer year for you for both bands. Do a little recap. You did what,
Yeah,
two tours or three tours this year, right?
yeah. Rip to Shreds did West Coast tour back in May, and then we did the Japan tour back in November. Back in November, and then we went out to Philly for the Decibel Fest, the pre-fest for that. So we were getting around a little bit. That's what I was saying to Andrew. Is like for what our jobs kind of permit, we did quite a bit this year. So
It
yeah, we
was
were
a
we were staying busy.
busy year, and I want to throw out you came out and did my wrestling show.
We
And
did, yeah. We accomplished.
Hemotoxin did the pre-party for that as well.
Yep. That was a great time. Just
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of wrestling, especially extreme wrestling like that, the glass and everything. And so seeing that seeing the stage plus all the whole setting was just so sick. So yeah, thanks for having us for that. That was awesome.
Hell yeah, which you can all watch that on the channel wherever, as well as we did a killer set for you at that May show.
Yeah, that was a fun show with Corrupt and all those guys. So yeah, we were around quite a bit, and you were around to capture some of it. So thank you for that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that venue is very nice. You guys
Yeah.
sounded phenomenal. It just sucks it's a ways out there. Like I always tell people, if that venue was in LA, it'd probably be one of the best venues out here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know it's a giant warehouse, but it's very well set up for shows. So it was
Oh
a
yeah.
fun place to play for sure.
Speaking of that, let's see. You did the West Coast tour. How was that? Did you guys have a good
Yeah,
time
so
doing all that?
oh yeah, no, we started we started in LA at the Moroccan Lounge, and then we just kind of went on down to San Diego and then back up to I think Palmdale was after that when we met up with you, and then just kind of made the trek up through the went to San Luis Obispo and then up to Sacramento. So just kind of, all the way up to basically Canada. And those were great shows, especially Vancouver, I think it was like just amazing. Yeah.
I forgot. Did you guys do Northwest Terror Fest this year too? Right?
And we did
Yeah.
Northwest Terror Fest, and that was just incredible. It's always Northwest Terror Fest is always like the best time because it's one of those bigger festivals that everybody kind of a destination fest where everybody travels out for it and stuff. And so you see just all types of friends, old and new, and yeah, everybody's just very much in that just festive spirit when they're at Northwest Terror Fest. So it's always awesome to be a part of that and just kind of feel it in all aspects from the crowd, to the backstage area where all, the legends like Caton from Hyrax or all the guys from Demolition Hammer were hanging out at. So that was a really cool experience for sure.
Hell yeah. So when you went out on this tour, I remember briefly talking at the May show. Did you have any new gear with you, if I remember, or you're still using?
Kind of, yeah, it's kind of, oh, well, for this run it was because I think I just bought this stuff back in like January. But I was using what's called a Seymour Duncan power stage. It's like a clean power amp. And then I have a Line 6 HX Stomp for my, tones and whatnot. So that's what I was using for the tour along with the HM tour, the HM2
Gotta have
pedal,
the HM
obviously,
too,
for
right?
it's absolutely a requirement. So yeah, I was running like sort of like a pedal rig pretty much for the RTS tour, and it served me well. Yeah, I mean, like I was. The Strand rig too is just the headless guitars are so light, so I'm able to just throw my pedal rig in my suitcase, throw my Strand rig on my back, and I'm out of there. So it's pretty nice.
Hell yeah.
So
Do you think,
yeah.
what's your opinion on those, what is it, the Cortex boxes? Do you think you'll ever use one of those?
I'm happy with the Line 6. The reason I got this one in particular, and I'm sure they all do this, but was the ability to upload your own impulse responses to the cabinets. And I know there's like, it's all scientific now. You can get down and dirty with the positioning and the mics and all that stuff. But I just have old IRs from like 2010, 11, 12 that I've just had for years, and I just swear by. So I have them all loaded up in the HX. And people don't really hear that anyway on stage. You're hearing basically like the cabinet I'm using, and with the RTS, there's just the HM2 sound. So there's only so many different ways to color that, but that's why I bought it. And then on top of that, it has all the different Marshall, Diesel, EVH, fucking PV amps and stuff. So it was just kind of, and I'm used to Line 6. Like I've been using Line 6 since I was like 14. Like that was my first half stack, was the Spider 3 with all the effects on it, the blinking lights and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, I kind of been like sort of like, well, I'm sort of loyal to that brand, but almost like not consciously. But the last thing I had before this was the Podgo with the little expression pedals. So it's kind of like, yeah, at that point, I'm kind of used to it's called the Helix software. I kind of want to just stay in my lane in that aspect. So I don't think I'll really get around to it unless, if it ends up in my hands, sure.
Is that setup pretty interchangeable when you do Hemotoxin stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I have everything. Basically, the Rip to Shreds sound is toned for on stage. That's set up a certain way because we use the in-ears. So that's it has different outputs I have to use for that. With Hemo, it's a little more simple. Inside the HX, I have it set up where it's just a compressor in the front, head cab, reverb for like some room sound, and then a delay. And so sometimes I use like a stereo delay if I'm at home practicing. So when it comes to Hemotoxin, all I do is like what I use here, I just disable the cabinet and just put it through the real Marshall that I use, and then that's it. I try to keep it as like bare bones as possible, just because like it's so powerful and it can do all these different things. But like the best thing about it is the like emulation of the amp sounds, and so I'm just trying to like have that as much as possible without too much in between it. 'Cause before I was using like a EQ in the front, like the ones they have in the HX and stuff, and like it just kind of was like it was sort of like covering up the characteristics of the amp, like the Marshall and the different sound. Like the JCM 800 kind of was sounding like everything was kind of sounding the same. So I just kind of threw that out of the equation and just kept it simple, and then just kind of let the cab color it, and then if anything needs to be adjusted, the Seymour Duncan is kind of where I do all of that, and it's got like a pretty wide range. So yeah, I just kind of over the years of just like playing and like having different situations and experiencing different things with using a tube head or with using even like my old Line 6 or the Podgo. I just kind of figure out like what I needed and like what is going to work best whenever I go to any like venue anywhere basically in the world at this point, and just know that like whatever my setup is, I can adjust it to the room, so that way like wherever I'm playing, it's going to sound how I need it to.
I have no clue what you're talking about, but some guitarists out there will.
Some guitar player might know what
But no,
I'm on about.
I like getting all the technical aspects because everybody's different, and it's pretty fun to know that some people prefer tube amps and other people don't like them, and then some people have these crazy board setups. Some people, I know people who just plug straight into the fucking cab now, and I'm like, oh shit, and they just use that little Cortex box thing,
especially for Rip to Shreds, like because we're if it's a fly out or if we're going somewhere where I'm not going to have my my Marshall cabinet, then I kind of have to be ready for whatever. But I mean, I'm essentially emulating a tube head in that thing, so it's not like I'm opposed to ever using a tube head again. It's just for the convenience aspect. Like if I'm going to go play with Rip to Shreds or Hemotoxin, like it works. It works too well. So
yeah,
I stand behind it.
Yeah, speaking of which, that was that Rip to Shreds' first Japan tour, right?
Yeah, so when Rip to Shreds first started, Andrew, I think the first Rip to Shreds shows were actually in Taiwan, and so that's where we started the tour. So I think it had been like 6 years since Andrew had brought Rip to Shreds, basically, because when he did it originally, it was a bunch of different guys who were from out there. So the first 2 nights of the tour were Taipei and Kaohsiung, and so there were a lot of people really amped up and waiting for that, and so we started there, and then we went to Japan, and so for that portion, the Japan tour, that was the first time I
Gotcha.
think
Let's
RTS had been over there.
Yeah, nice. Let's start with your highlights of the Taiwan shows. That was your first time going to Taiwan, right?
Oh yeah, no, it was awesome. Yeah, first time ever even on that side of the world, and but no, it was fun. Met a lot of different people. Met a lot of Hemotoxin fans out there. Surprisingly,
Nice.
I was very like, yeah, heartwarming for people to like. We were coming up to me with like their "When Time Becomes Lost" CDs. Like, can you sign
That's
this? Like, oh
sick.
shit, about this. So that was cool. And then yeah, Gaoshan was cool. It was a very nice venue, and just kind of cool because a lot of the it's a very small scene, but out there, so a lot of people there at the first night followed us the second night. And so it was cool, just big crowds, and a lot of people just excited to see Rip to Shreds again, or maybe for the first time. So it was cool, just a lot of fan support and people who are just very like diehard about the music, just bringing all the different, RTS records, and people bringing the Hemo stuff. So yeah, it was really cool experience to kind of see like how the scene translates. It's a pretty small scene, and like everybody who's into it is like really into it. So it's cool to see that in person, and like I got to meet some people that I've known for years over the internet, just through Facebook and social media interactions and stuff, and to get to meet them, get that face to face. And I never thought I would, truth be told, I never thought I'd have a reason or any kind of like opportunity to go out there. So it was cool to have that and like meet those people and
Hell yeah,
just see
dude.
it for myself. Yeah.
That's
So
fucking awesome.
it's a cool thing. Yeah, for sure.
And then what stood out from you just visiting those cities? Was there anything cool that you're like, holy shit, this is pretty
Well, there's like, they have the night markets with all the different food vendors, and like there's tons of mopeds out there. Like, I've never seen like a wall of mopeds like that in my life. And like
cool.
it's called Jack Studio in Taipei, but it was like the first like yeah, I think that was like the first time I really played like a venue that was like underground, which
Oh,
is kind of that's how how it is in Japan too. Like a lot of the venues are like
or underground.
built like basement type of situations. The live warehouse the second night was more of like a building. But yeah, no, that was one thing that stood out to me too. Just like, oh shit, like these are like underground. You got to kind of go through some corridors to like find this kind of not the biggest room, but a pretty decently sized venue room. And with the one in Taipei had like a video wall and all that, so it was
That's
pretty
cool.
pretty tricked out. Yeah, it was sick. I was like, damn, like
Yeah, it seems like a lot of venues out here, um, they aren't equal. Not all venues are created equal out here at all, you
no. And
know.
I mean, like some buildings have been around for ages, so you can only do so much. But yeah, out there, a lot of the places are kind of high tech, so it was cool to see that too, and just see kind of
That
like
See, that's cool.
yeah.
But moving on to Japan, how many dates did you do out there? And then you did a fest, right?
We did Asakusa Death Fest. That was like the last 2 nights. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I know Yokohama was like the first night, and then Osaka, Kyoto, and then I think it was 7.
What were the standout shows from that tour?
I mean, every show was awesome. I don't want to like undersell any of it, but Asakusa was obviously just the absolute highlight. Just it's another, just like Northwest, where everybody travels out for comes out for it, and there's just all different types of people, and just fans to people in bands that you've heard about for years. Like I got to meet Mikiko from FID, which is like a super legendary grind power violence band that I saw like way back in 2011. It was like my first time ever seeing that stuff. So getting to
Oh
meet
yeah.
her was like crazy for me. And Andrew did a gore grind video with all the different singers, and one of them has Jeff from Jeff
Ah,
Walker from Carcass. You can see me. I did a shitty job with
that's
the
cool.
fucking camera work, but I'm in. You can see me in the mirror. I'm in the back. So like when Andrew has to like sit there and like actually interview them, I sit, if I'm
That's sick.
available, whoever's,
Oh,
I'll help,
but yeah. By the way, everybody go check out
yeah.
Andrew's channel, Rip to Shreds channel. Here, he did
Uh,
an excellent
yeah.
recap on the Japan Fest or the
Oh
Japan
yeah.
leg and everything.
The whole tour. Yeah. He gives you the whole play by play of
Yeah.
like the financial part and everything, which is, you never see that.
Yeah,
So
no,
it definitely,
he's very transparent and it's very helpful when it comes to bands. If they ever
yeah,
want
for
to do this
sure.
kind of.
Yeah. So if you're someone in a band and you want to go on tour, watch his videos because they're definitely like a good like breakdown and just showing you like this is kind of what it is type of thing. So I helped him with the Antimo interview, just sitting behind the camera and just there's people trying to walk by and stuff, so just kind of waving people off and whatnot. But it was cool and like just same thing, and I mean all over Asia, I can imagine it's sort of like this. Just everybody's so passionate about the music, like in a way that's kind of like the dream is still alive, like the spirit is still like real out there, like the
I
the
mean,
people that are into it are very like yeah
it's
they
it's
love
it's the fans, it's us who keep it alive. It ain't going anywhere, and it's amazing where I have so many friends that play in these obscure bands, but they get to travel the world.
it.
You get to see the world because of this music we play that other people think is
Oh,
weird. You know?
oh, dude, yeah, and especially out there, like they love it. So like when you finally make it out there, they're just they just make you feel so loved and
Dude,
welcome because
I'm sure they're very appreciative. They're like, hell yeah, like American bands coming over here. Anybody coming over here, we're stoked.
yeah, I mean for any band to come over and play internationally, it takes a lot of money, a lot of sacrifice of time and stuff. So they really show their appreciation for that.
So I want to say, very big year for Rip to Shreds. I think you
Yeah.
played, yeah, you did the 2 tours. Then you played some one-offs. Is there anything else coming up? I know you haven't said nothing on the books yet, but you are in the kind of working on some new stuff.
Andrew's hard at work working on some new stuff, I believe. I know he's got a couple projects he's kind of wrapping up. So eventually, a new Rip to Shreds record will be coming out at some point. I know he's working on it. No, like I said earlier, I haven't heard anything yet.
Hell
I
yeah.
haven't heard a note
Well,
yet, so we'll
well, I'll
see
be
where that
looking
goes.
forward to that. Now I want to
Yeah,
shift focus and shift gear to what's going on with Hemotoxin. Again, I appreciate you coming out and doing my
yeah,
show. That entire set is recorded, by the way, and you can check that out.
yeah.
Either on the Hemotoxin channel or my channel. It's
It,
collabed on there, so go check it out.
yep, definitely. Yeah, thanks for having us because it was a good opportunity to get that whole set album recorded and just have that sort of like set in stone. Like, all right, that was something I've been trying to do forever. So it's cool that
I
you
know,
could make that. Yeah, especially that first night. Like, it is just a homie fest and just
dude.
all the guys that came
Shout
down
out.
from the
We had,
Bay.
yeah, I had like literally every Bay Area band.
But yeah, just about Barbara's Tomb Spawn,
There was
us.
no. I just realized I was like, I didn't even have a local band on that. I know so many. It was just a all out of towner fest.
But it was cool, to get to play when time becomes lost
Yeah, that was
full and then have it
great.
recorded. Like we were really stoked to have that, and so it was kind of nice little like almost like a closing. Like, all right, we got that done. Now
Hell
let's
yeah.
move on to some new shit.
Hell yeah. When can we expect some kind of anything?
I have 2 songs written. We're gonna get in a room and jam it soon. So I'm just gonna stick a phone in a corner somewhere. We're gonna like get a video going, and we'll post it like on social media. So that'll probably be
Full
like the next thing
Are you
people
gonna do
see. But
a full length or are you doing an EP?
I want to do a full length. I kind of have like basically about like 30 minutes of new stuff ready to go. So I still got some work to do. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get a new album together and just do album number 5. Just because especially in Japan, like I was really taken back by like how much people like loved When Time Becomes Lost, and just like I was saying, all the people that were bringing me their copies of the CD to sign, and people that were telling me like how much they loved it, and like yeah, that's all the motivation I need to like, all right, get another one done. And
Hell yeah, man. So we're
different.
looking forward to that. Looking forward to new Rip to Shred stuff. What else you got going on in the works? Do you ever want to do any other kind of projects? Do you want to do like a crazy jazz fusion band or something?
I'm always over here like just playing all different types of music when I practice at home. I don't know. I might pop up with like some cover on YouTube or something. I might pop up with a jam band out here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'll do any recorded projects, but I'll definitely be around trying to
Well,
be out there when I'm not working on Hemotoxin
oh
or when
yeah.
eventually Rip to Shreds comes around. Then I gotta start
How's
helping
the
with that too.
scene looking up there nowadays? How's everything going? You got any
Pretty help.
bands you want
Yeah.
to shout out or anything that you've been getting
Oh
into?
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like you got bands like Trencher and
Venture's cool.
fucking. Oh, dude, yeah.
I
They're a
recorded them
band,
too.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, Trencher and you got bands like Frolic and Cartilage who got a show coming up at Cornerstone in Berkeley, January 10th.
Oh yeah.
I think Trencher's playing in the city December or January 3rd with Nefarious. That's the
Nice.
old school guy, the Doug Piercy and Rick from Exodus and stuff. They have like a
Nice.
new project. So I know they got stuff going on. So it's pretty healthy out here. We got shows going on and people staying busy. So we'll eventually when something comes up, Hemotoxin will jump back in the fire out there and
Hell yeah.
get back involved. But right now I'm just kind of in the lab, just trying to get new stuff put together.
I will say this. I always do this at the end of the year. My favorite albums of the year. Do you have any you want to shout out? Anything that you thought was really cool this year?
I know Drain had a new album that was
Oh
pretty good.
yeah,
Drain is your friend.
that
Those guys are.
made my top 10. It was very good.
Yeah, they're classic. God, I'm blanking out right now. I know there were a lot of cool albums that came out this year that I'm kind of
Ever
like
heard of
skipping over.
Ancient Death?
Oh yeah, that is that. Yeah. I
Ego
heard about that one.
Dissolution. Great album.
Yeah, the one with the eyes on it.
Yep.
Yeah. I've heard about that one. I'm just bad with keeping up, and it's been such a busy year. I need to like go back
Oh,
and like
dude. Yeah.
cram some albums real quick. But I know there. God, did Vile Rights put out an album this year? I think. Like, there's a bunch of albums that came out this year, and I'm just like
Yeah.
blanking, man.
I
But
know I watched some of Andrew's too. He shouted out shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I know only like a few of these
Yeah.
albums. So I had to go
Yeah,
check out some of his stuff too.
Hedonist,
Yeah.
their album was really good. I know everybody
Yeah.
really loved that one. Hedonist is pretty sick. We played with them in Canada
Hell
when
yeah.
we went up there, so that was a real treat to get to see them. And Contusion, I think Contusion.
Contusion
actually
rules.
dropped
I didn't
some.
even know they put down. Oh, fuck. Did I get? I get all
think
these.
or maybe I'm blank. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm bad with that.
If they
shit.
put something, I'll have to check because I get like emails where like I get all the promos and stuff, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
there's so many albums, there's so many bands out there, it's hard to keep up. You know?
It's impossible. I mean, yeah, and my job is like dealing with, I do like the hip hop thing and stuff with distribution, but there's all that stuff that I hear about too. So I'm just constantly getting berated with music. So it's great. I love it. But yeah, it kind of makes it hard to keep up with
dude,
everything.
Totally. So, dude, I appreciate you chatting with me. Let's wrap all of this up. Tell me.
Yeah.
So we have a lot to look forward to next year. Are you gonna try to do any hemotoxin shows next?
Yeah, definitely. I've been talking to some people, trying to see what we can get set up. So, hopefully you'll see us pop up on a flyer somewhere. I'm definitely focused on, getting the new stuff done. And after that experience in Japan, trying to get hemotoxin over there is definitely on the list of priorities too. So hopefully, we can make that happen.
Hell yeah, I definitely want to do another hemotoxin show down here in LA. A good thrash show. So.
We'd love to. Yeah, for sure, man.
Is there anything else you want to leave off with? Anything else you got going on? Or did I touch everything?
That we touched on everything pretty much. I'm just working, and then when I'm not working, I'm over here just,
jamming, getting tunes
busy
out
in the lab, and just trying to crank out some new stuff and just get it ready for everybody. And sooner than later, I'll be dropping something. So
hell yeah. Well, Michael, I want to say thank you so much for chatting with me, recapping your year. It's been a very eventful year for both Hemotoxin and Rip to Shreds. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, you could check out all the links down below of their live sets I recorded. and other shit they got going on.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the support, and thanks for involving us and Rip to Shreds and just all the all the talks and everything. There a lot of people probably don't even know, like, there's like hours of just other shit that went on behind all of this to even like get to the points to do the Palmdale show or get to do the Bleed for the Cause. So thanks for having us involved and just letting us be so much a part of it. Like, dude, it's been fun. So hopefully we can work together more and do more shit in the future. Yeah.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man. Till next time, everybody, be sure to check down those links down below. Pick up the Hemotoxin stuff. Pick up some Rip to Shred shit. Cheers, everybody.